What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, great to have you here. Time for a Q&A video because you guys always have plenty of questions, so I'm gonna try and answer them to my best knowledge. So sit back, relax, grab a coffee and enjoy the video. So before we dive into the first question, if you have any questions about Volvo Polestar or Lynk&Co, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and also Instagram. Over there I share these posts where I ask you guys if you have any questions. So make sure you are subscribed on both of my channels so that in case for a next Q&A video you can also submit your own question. So question 1. And that one is, why is there no camp mode in the Volvo XC40 Recharge? And that's a good question. I'm also kind of hoping for it, also for a dog mode, as I am a dog owner. That would also be pretty useful. Of course, we all know that from Tesla, right? They have that awesome camp mode and also that dog mode, where on the center screen there's this message like, no worries, there's AC in the cabin, I'm doing fine over here. So yeah, that would be nice. Volvo is a bit slow in their software development. Perhaps it will come with the next generation of Google Android Automotive, which is on the Volvo cars, so on the EX30 and EX90. Let's hope so. But to be frankly honest, I'm not really expecting a dog mode or a camp mode anytime soon on our Volvos, unfortunately. Next question then from Thom, and that is, will the Lynk&Co 08 be introduced in the Netherlands in the near future? And let's put that to the European Union, probably. Currently, of course, we have from Lynk&Co the 01, which is a bit of this cousin to the Volvo C40, XC40, Pulsar 2, a CMA platform car. Plug-in hybrid, good for 70 kilometers of electric range. The Lynk&Co 01 is just a very good car, very good for the price, full option. I'm a big fan of that car. So it's an obvious step that the 08 will soon follow up the 01. The 08 is also based on the CMA Evo platform, so still a bit of the familiar platform we know, but then it has a battery capacity of 36 or 37 kilowatt hours. So it's a plug-in hybrid, which can probably drive up to 200 or 250 full electric kilometers. That's pretty insane for a plug-in hybrid, right? But the current Lynk&Co 01 is still pretty successful here in the European Union. It's only here for about 2 to 3 years now. This year we get the third update of the 01, which included these new upholstery, more sustainable elements in it, this new cargo cover, roll cover, and also a heated steering wheel, which is coming in the next few weeks or months on the first 01s here in the Netherlands at least. So yeah, Lynk&Co is still updating the 01 as well. So I'm not expecting it next year, maybe 2025. I mean, at some point the 01 will probably stop being produced, and then the 08 would be the logical successor for that. But maybe Lynk&Co will even go one step further and introduce a full electric version after the 01. I wouldn't also be surprised if they do that. The markets here in Europe are getting more and more EV focused, so I'm kind of expecting that the next Lynk&Co will be a full electric version. But to be honest, I would love seeing a Lynk&Co 08 with this 200 kilometer plus EV range out here on the market. Would be the perfect plug-in hybrid for many people. But yeah, let's wait and see. Next question from Mr. Timo, and that is, when will Volvo adjust its prices? They're getting kind of expensive compared to other cars in the size and class. And you are absolutely right about that. A well-equipped Volvo Recharge car is currently, well, pretty expensive, especially if you compare it to the Tesla Model Y, which starts from 46,000 euros here in the Netherlands. So that is super competitive. And for the same package on a Volvo, you would pay easily like 55, 60K. So yeah, if you compare to that, the Volvo is very expensive. But will they adjust their prices? Probably not. Recently, the CEO of Polestar shared in this interview that they are not attending or taking part in this price war, which is going on with Tesla and the Chinese brands. So that is Polestar. Now Polestar is owned by Volvo and by Geely. Geely owns Volvo, so basically everything is owned by Geely. But anyway, if Polestar will not do that, then Volvo will also probably not lower their prices or take part in this price war. And to be frankly honest, the prices for Volvos at this moment still pretty high. Now, of course, we are coming from COVID, where production was very limited and, you know, customer orders took more than a year. So that kind of explains still why the prices are a bit high. But lately you do see that more and more new Volvo cars are arriving at the showroom and being stock cars. That of course is good for the pricing. But for the past 2-3 months you do see that production is getting more stable again. And there are already a bit more stock cars. So you do see that the prices are getting a bit more competitive between dealerships as well once again. So that's a good thing of course for us as customers. And then of course Volvo is coming soon with the Volvo EX30, which is this entry-level price basically for a Volvo from 35k-ish dollars and euros. So that will be a very competitive car as well for Volvo. So I do not see them lowering especially the prices of the 40 series more, because then it gets too close to the 30s of course. That's also a thing they do not want. So, bummer for us, but yeah, prices will probably remain as is. Then a question from Sam or Sammy. Could you please find out when the EX60, the successor of the XC60, comes out? Yeah, soon probably. But Volvo is now a listed company, right? So they have investors, they have shareholders, so they need to show something interesting each year, right? So that's why last year we've seen the EX90, this year EX30 and EM90. It's a bit of an exemption, I guess. So next year, be assured there will be a new Volvo. Which one it is, I cannot tell you. Of course, you can do a bit of research yourself on Google and whatnot, but there surely will be a new Volvo car introduced. And of course, an electric one, because all new Volvos will be electric. But the EX60 is this, well, I think long-awaited successor for the XC60, which is one of the most successful Volvos ever, right? So Volvo surely will have this in mind and introduce, well, I'm expecting within the next 3 years, the EX60. At which moment, I'm not too sure yet, but of course we will see this car coming very soon. Often if I have some new insights or information about new Volvos or spy shots and whatnot, I share that on my Instagram page, so make sure you also follow me over there at Thom.love, so you are up to date. Next question from Steve, and that is about the pre-ordered Volvo EX30 he has for delivery in summer 2024 in the USA. Good choice, congrats on that. Do I think that they will deliver it on time? And question 2, any chance that it ships with the NACS connection, that is the North American Charging Standard, I believe. The one from Tesla, basically, that's the new connection. Anyway, question 1, will they deliver on time? I guess so, I think so. Production has started of the Volvo EX30 in China. First cars are, well, heading out, factory produced cars. Those cars are for the press, for Volvo shows, reveals and whatnot. So the first cars are already heading out. So that's a good development, of course. Production is running. And I'm actually more certain that the EX30 will arrive on time, because this is a Geely special. Volvo, of course, has their own factories in Sweden, Belgium, China, Malaysia even, I believe, the US. But the EX30 is being produced in China, and that is actually in a Geely factory. So what Volvo does is basically submitting their order book to Geely and say, hey, produce these Volvo EX30s for us. And we can say a lot of things about the Chinese car market, but they do produce a lot of cars and at a fast pace. So I'm pretty sure the Volvo EX30 will head out soon to all global markets. First dealership cars are expecting late this year, so a bit of a Christmas present. And then in the next weeks, already in 2024, the first customer cars will also be delivered. So it's going quite fast at this moment. Looking at that, then probably they will also be surely on time for the US as well. And then any chance it will ship with this NACS connection? A bit of explanation on that maybe. Volvo entered this partnership with the Tesla charging company basically, in which they will provide the Volvo cars with this NACS connection for Tesla superchargers or fast chargers in the US. Now this partnership or collaboration will be valid for Volvo from 2025. So probably your car will not ship with it yet. I'm expecting that maybe the late model year 25s will get this NACS charging outlet update, and maybe even the model year 26 cars, which will then be 2025 April or May. Complicated, right? So your car will surely not ship with this NACS connection yet. Probably the next year of the X30, maybe the first ones, and otherwise, yeah, halfway 2025, I'm assuming. Next question. Thanks for your videos and information. You're welcome. I'm wondering if Polestar 2 and Volvo C40, XC40 will receive another update in 2024. For example, to get rid of the battery tunnel from the old platforms. Good question, would also be very nice, but You know, the Polestar 2 and 40 series recharge cars, they are based on this CMA platform, which from its launch is a fossil fuel kind of platform, right? It's for plug-in hybrids, for diesels, for petrol engines. Everything already has passed this CMA platform, and now we have batteries on it. But that's a bit of the heritage thing with the Polestar 2 and basically all cars on this CMA platform. They have characteristics from ICE cars, plug-in hybrid cars, right? Which includes this tunnel in the middle. And yeah, perhaps there's still something technical in it for our battery cars, but yeah, it's a bit strange that it is still in there. But unfortunately, I'm not really expecting any big updates. Polestar 2 just got its recent facelift, XC40, C40 as well. So yeah, I don't see any reason why they will update the car. Perhaps a new color, maybe a new interior, new wheels. But until end of life of the 40s and Polestar 2, I'm not really expecting any big changes or updates anymore. Next one from Michael. I would like to know why Volvo decided to limit regeneration modes to off, on and auto. I have no clue. I guess it is for a technical reason. Yeah, on my car I only have the on and off. Now with the model year 24, Volvo C40 and XC40 Recharge, you also have this auto mode for one pedal driving. Make sure you try that out yourself because it's very interesting. I do not really like it. I'm always just driving on the on mode, and to be frankly honest, that is very direct. It gives immediate feedback about acceleration or braking. So I enjoy that a lot. I do not really see a valid reason or any reason why they should, well, give the driver this option to have this regeneration mode to 20% or 80, or, you know, I think it works fine at this moment with on or auto if you prefer that. Maybe it also has a technical reason, you know, that the battery motors have these limitations about regeneration, or maybe it is better for longevity of the car or the e-motors or the regeneration things on it. I don't know, but yeah, perhaps ask your Volvo dealership. Next question from Warren. Great videos, thank you so much. Will Volvo or Polestar CEOs consider licensing Tesla full self-driving software? Hoping they say yes. Well, I think they will say no. Unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not too sure about that. There's a bit of a difference between Tesla and Volvo in this. You see with Tesla, of course, they have this self-driving software in a beta version, which drivers can download and use already on like Californian roads, I believe. In the US, surely not in Europe, that's not allowed over here. But you see that they just push it out and they have this beta from which they learn and whatnot. Whilst Volvo, they entered lots of joint ventures, also purchased tech companies the past few years for autonomous driving development. Recently they opened another tech hub in Stockholm in Sweden, one in Singapore last month or 2 months ago. So they are really focusing on development of technology and autonomous driving software. So especially now they are also a full owner of Zenseact, which is this autonomous driving software developer. You know, you see that they are just really focusing on their own autonomous driving software. Just typical Volvo, you know, there's a high safety standard involved with the brand, of course, with Volvo. So it's not really a surprise that they do it all by themselves and they acquire companies which have the right knowledge and people over there. Now that they want to do it right or on the right pace is also evident from the Volvo EX90. Car should be launched this year. Now it's launched next year because they are having problems with the technical things on the car, which include autonomous driving. So they want to make sure that the EX90 hits the road perfect, 100% complete and finished with the right software on board, which also is part of that autonomous driving. So, you know, you see a big difference over there between Tesla and Volvo. So no, Volvo will not adapt this Tesla autonomous driving. They do take the charging, as I said, which is a good thing. But for autonomous driving, it will be just a Volvo thing and the EX90 will get it. And from there, from the flagship, they will pass it on towards their next products as well. Pretty good, right? Then the questions from Instagram. Also, thank you very much for submitting those. First one, quality of the materials of the new Volvo models like EX30 comparing to the old Volvos XC70 and onwards. Quality of materials is pretty good still. You know, I recently experienced the EX90 and EX30, pretty impressive upholsteries as well. In my own Volvo C40, I have this vegan R-design interior, which is also turning out to be very well. So far I've driven like 35k on it. Yeah, interior is doing pretty good. If I compare that to some of my old cars, Volvo 850, V70R, those interiors were also pretty worn eventually, right? So it's all up to the owner, you know, if you take care of your upholstery and interior, then yeah, the quality and the duration of it being nice will also extend, right? So yeah, I'm not really worried about the quality of upholstery or interior elements on the new cars. I think they are fine. Yeah, no worries. Next one, is the sedan era of Volvo really over now? Well, maybe a bit, maybe it has less priority, but you do see that the S60 is still being produced in the US. That's also the biggest sedan market, of course. So probably there will always be a bit of a sedan-ish kind of car. Maybe a bit more comparing to the Zeekr 001, you know, or the Porsche Panamera kind of car. So a bit of a shooting brake kind of car. That's one I'm expecting as well. But a typical sedan like the 850s and the S60s, yeah, probably the S60 will be the last one in this specific design. Next question, how's the feeling of acceleration between the C40 twin and extended range? Is the rear wheel drive lazy? Well, the biggest difference is just when you go full throttle with the twin motor, it almost pulls your head off, just so much torque and traction because of the dual motor setup, right? It just flies away. Whilst with the rear wheel drive, you see that the rear is a bit more controlled. So if you go full throttle and it's a bit wet, then you notice that the systems of the car will limit the acceleration to make sure you aren't spinning a lot. So the rear wheel drive surely isn't lazy, but you do notice that it's only one motor on the rear wheels, good for 252 horsepower. So surely not lazy, still very pacey and quick and responsive. But comparing it to a twin is almost not possible, because the twin just flies away with full traction. And the rear wheel drive is of course a bit of another story. Next question, will the screen behind the wheel forever disappear on future Volvo models? I guess not. I think like on the lower segment on the entry-level segment cars like the EX30, it will disappear. Maybe on the future 40s series if it ever will come. But if you compare it, for example, with Tesla, with their most premium cars, the Model X and S, they both have still this driver's display, right? And the Zeekr also still has it. Polestar still has it on the Polestar 3 and the EX90 even. So probably the most premium cars from Volvo will also still have this driver's display besides the center screen. Next question is, any fix on vibration at 100-105 kilometers an hour on the XC40 and C40 Recharge? No. So basically most model year 22 and some model year 23 cars have this vibration around 100 kilometers an hour, 62 miles an hour. You hear that a lot. Volvo is aware of it apparently. I've heard things that they are looking into that and trying out certain things on cars. So fingers crossed they will come soon with this fix. That would be much appreciated from Volvo. But for at this moment, no fixes. Next question is a comment which I'm also gonna include because it says, thank you very much, your Instagram is very informative. So another reason why you should follow me on Instagram at thom.love. Final question then, when are you coming to Spain? Sooner than you think. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and also subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 10,000 subscribers. So please subscribe, really helps me out. Thank you so much. What do you think about the questions? Do you have any additions or other thoughts? Leave them down below in the comment section and I'll get back to you. Always interesting to read what you guys think. That being said, thanks so much for watching, and of course, I see you in a brand new video next week. Bye bye.